Hey guys, BW here, and we're back out in the garage. I've been working on body work lately on the car. That's why I haven't really had any video out. You guys know that gets monotonous, and I'm just trying to feel my way through. And we're gonna get back to that. We're just taking a pause today. I need a break from it, and we've been having a problem with our alternator. It's not charging, and I found a problem. Obviously, the wire burnt off there, but this alternator came with the engine when I bought it. Now I don't think it's correct, so I bought a legit one wire, and it's 100 amp, and we're gonna put it in there. And then I got the what is this, 6 wire, I think it is. It's it's rated for the 100 amp. Yeah, 6 wire. And the second problem, the belt's starting to roll over here, and the reason why, this thing's way out of alignment. When we changed the fan last year, we had to go to a short snout water pump, and when we did that, you can't be on the passenger side tucked in neat. We're all the way out here in outer space, and you guys can see how far out it is. So I made a couple shims for that. We're going to shim that out, and we're going to get this wire changed, and hopefully after that we'll fire this. All right guys, well, the first thing I'll do is I'll just loosen up the take up on this. You know, I should have done this last year. I knew it was way off, but it just kind of never got to it. That's not really an excuse, but what happened was I didn't have long enough bolts at the time to put washer shims behind there, so I just didn't do it, and I should have did it, and I kept putting it off. It's like, well, the belt really hasn't messed up yet, you know. I guess that's an excuse, I guess. But you know, it messed up. I went to the cruise-in last weekend at Thomas Chevrolet, and whenever I lifted the hood up, I always check things out, and the first thing I noticed, I'm like, well, the belt is starting to get rolled over, and that's because this thing was never lined up. 100% on me, but we're gonna get it today, and it hasn't been charging for a while, and I found the wire was cooked, and it just, and I'll show you. I don't like that alternator wire. I bought it, I got it off of Amazon. I have a bunch of it over there in the old box, the wiring harness box. I threw it in there. I don't like the insulation on it. Like, you see the insulation on this. This is a legit alternator wire. It's number 6. It's rated for, and like I said, I got a 100 amp alternator, and you know, it's probably overkill for this hot rod. We don't really run a whole lot of power on here, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I have the correct cable for it, so we'll go with it. So the first thing we want to do is get this old one off. And like I said, this one has had when I got this motor, it had this alternator with it, and it didn't have the 2 plug on the top. It had, you know, a 4 wire plug, and then I bought I read online where you could wire these up, and Phil helped me out with it, and we wired it up to what we thought it was right, and it was actually charging. Not great, but I think when we checked it, when it was running, we were getting like 13.2 or something. So it was charging a little bit, but I mean, it was never right, and I always meant to get a 1 wire alternator, and that's what we got, is a 1 wire. I'm just gonna run it straight down to the I guess the starter solenoid, and that's gonna be it. Now, you know, the only thing you got to watch with these 1 wires that I know of, that I was told, is that they will, you know, sometimes just because you have the 1 wire and you don't have the indicator wire running back, your generator light may come on. And I think we did put a light bulb in there, so if my generator light's on, well, then it's going to be on. I think there is a spot for where you could put on the top there if you want. I don't know. I'm not really the world's expert on this kind of stuff. I read and I do. I don't even know what kind of camera angle you guys got right now. I'm just talking to you guys, and I got it down here, and you guys can see. I'll just pan around. We ain't got no room in the shop, so I'm just kind of like winging it here, and I think you guys can see what I'm doing. Maybe I'll move it over here for a minute. Maybe we'll try it over here. And And you guys can see something going on right there. I already got this loosened up. I got the belt off. Now I just want to get the alternator off of here. I guess this was metric. I'll show you this. This thing was fried. It is fried. Lucky I didn't have a fire in it. Well, I'll be all right. Like I said, I got the wire, like I said, off of Amazon. See, well, look at that, guys. It was cooked. But that's all right. Right up there. Let's see if I can bring this down. See where this goes. Well, that's right. That's the indicator wire. So I may just leave this back in the sleeve for now. And we'll take care of that at a later date. Then the wire that burnt off, and I'll show you. Look at the insulation on that. You can see through it, and if you ever see this, and it's almost like a real soft rubber. And this was 10 gauge. It should have, I guess it should have been enough. I mean, if this is 100 amp, I'll look it up later. If this is 100 amp alternator, then it's not enough. You need a 6 wire, but we'll see. All right, let me climb down underneath and just get the wire off of the solenoid. No, I'll come right back. All right, guys. The wire ran down. I thought it was at the solenoid, but I have my mega fuses down there, and I had it on the battery side of the mega fuse. So I mean, that's where you eventually want it to get to. So I just put it back there. I forgot. You know, it's been a while. Been over a year. See if we can get this old alternator off of here. Ooh, that was a little tight. All right, there we go. That side up there on there. Like I said, I took one of these bolts out on this bracket because I wanted to match it up. I wanted to match it up because that's the whole reason I never shimmed this out, is I didn't have the right hardware. I know it's not much of an excuse, but I wanted to go for a ride. So that's all I got for you, is that's my excuse. But we got longer bolts now. I'm gonna try. I cut a couple pieces of 1/2-inch aluminum pipe, and we're gonna try that first, and then I have washers if we have to go more, and I have even extra washers if we have to go less. So we're gonna find out. We got that alternator off of there. Now let's get this bracket the rest of the way off. Take this bolt here out. I already took the other one, like I said the other day. I don't know. We'll see. I hate that I have to put the alternator this far out. I'm going to see about if I could fabricate something. I think I heard something that you could put it down low here, but then the steering box is kind of in the way on this one for where it is. So it's kind of like I'm limited, and I definitely can't go forward. Well, I really can't go forward with the radiator anymore to put the short one back on there. I'm kind of limited, but with space there, because I like having a drain, and I'm not cutting any more of my front bar out to do that, so that's not a feasible option. All right, let me go find what I did with that hardware. You guys can see this is all the longer the bolts were, and I just went 1/2 inch longer, and I cut these 1/2-inch bushings to shim it out. And then we'll see if that's, like I said, we'll see if that's enough, and then we'll play with it with washers from there. I just didn't want a stack of washers that thick, and it sure did look to me like we had to come out at least that far. So we'll see. It'll just be a neater job, I think. Just a couple threads to get it started. Let's see where we're at. There we go. bring you guys over for a view. As soon as I get these, I'm just going to get them hand tight. You see what I'm talking about here. There we go. Alright. Take a look at that, guys. Let me bring you over here. You can see where we're shimmed out right there. Now, obviously, until we put the alternator on and see where the pulley is, but that's how far we're going to start coming out. That's how far it was off. That's on, and that's on me. Like I say, you know, work on a car as long as I have on this thing. You want to go for a ride. You want to go for a ride. Pull this thing out. I got this speed. I think I got this alternator Speedway. I know nothing about the product. Speed Tough. It's just they had the one I wanted. 100. I wanted 100 amp. I mean, 60 was probably enough, but let's be honest. I think it's a little overkill. Right here's the bolt for that. I was worried about this fitting too a little bit, but perfect. Everybody complains about aftermarket stuff, but think of everything you got to think of. It's like this is an aftermarket bracket, it's an aftermarket alternator, and it's just like everything just fits. Alright, everything just hand tight for right now. I could definitely tighten that up. Now we want to put this piece on as well. Uh-oh. That does not. Now what do they want me to do here? I guess I got to bring it the whole way out. What is different on... Oh, I forgot a bracket, guys. Look at that. I wasn't watching what I was doing. There's a extension bracket on the alternator. I completely forgot about it. I gotta go get my Allen pack. I need a smaller size. I'll be right back. I got the bracket off the old alternator. That wasn't too bright, was it? But it was on me. I wasn't watching what I was doing. Yeah, we definitely want this on this side. This on there. These should be pretty close. I'm gonna have to go get a straight edge. See how, to see exactly where we're at. But we're pretty eyeball. I have a tool at work, and it's a pulley alignment kit, and I should probably get that because it's a laser beam. And it has little magnets on it, and man, it gets you right there. I should have borrowed that. I really didn't think of it. We had too much work to do today. I didn't have time to think about or dream about my stuff, you know. So, all right, well, let me see if I got a straight edge sitting here. I'll be right back. Best estimate was not even close to right. Well, you know, we had to start somewhere. If I take my straight edge across the water pump pulley, bring it over to the alternator pulley. You know, you touch both points over there and come here. You can see that my alternator still has to come out another 3/8 of an inch. So that's 4 washers on each one, or I can get some pipe and cut more bushings. I like the look of the bushings, so I think that's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna have to get longer bolts. I think I have a pair of bolts that'll work. Let's set it up with the washers and see. I know I have the bolts. Let me go find them. Turns out to be it. I did have the bolts. They were off the old bracket. I had an extra set in that drawers over there. That comes out to 7/8. I'm gonna double check it and measure it. I'm actually gonna ask my brother-in-law to make me some nice aluminum bushings so I can get rid of the washers. But they'll work for now. That doesn't look terrible, you know. It's out there a ways though. Look at that. But we got what we want. You're touching all 4 points. You got the straight edge touching both sides of the pulley, and you got it touching both sides of the pulley on the alternator. And I can try to run it down here to this inside one, or get a string. You can do it with a string, but eyeball down on it, it's as close as it's going to be anyway. There's really no movement there that I could do anyway. But that is way different. And then now you can see now why my belt rolled over. It lasted about 500 miles. So, and it didn't come off. But the confidence in the job was not there. You can see I've had that belt, that spare belt, for over a year. Now remember, it's kind of rough to get on. That one's stretched, so it came right off and on. But I remember these were a little, I had to wrestle it on a little bit, but the measurement was what it was. So we'll see what we got. I might have to take this off and flop the alternator forward. We'll see. We're not gonna get crazy or carried away with it. Well, that wasn't too smart, BW. I'm gonna put that on the wrong side there, buddy. Alright, there you go. That goes right on there. Look at that. Alright. Now we just want to start cranking our tension out on it. I remember. This is a different brand. This is a Goodyear belt. I got it. I ordered it off the Amazon. This one here, I'm going to show you how bad it. Look how the belt. Man, are you guys even seeing what's going on? I'm sorry, the camera was off right there. I'm not even sure what you saw there. But anyway, look at the belt. Like it naturally twisted now the way it sits, and it's real worn on one side of the thing, and that's all from not being lined up. But we're getting it now. Hopefully I got enough adjustment on this thing. I have to add a little bit more. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We'll go with that. All right, now where's my ratchet? Tighten down on the pivot point first. All right. 5/8, 9/16. I think that's the one thing another thing I didn't like about this bracket is they don't really give you a whole lot on these turnbuckle, man. It's like, well, I guess they do, but it's not enough. I'd like to have longer ones. Give you a little more room to play. But it is what it is. So that was like the big part of the job, getting this lined up, and that we're not getting it any closer than that. The straight edge to the pulley. You want all four sides of that straight edge to touch, like I showed you there, and you'll be golden. Like I said, I have that really cool belt alignment tool at work I could have borrowed, and I forgot. Like I say though, I can't remember everything. I'll let you guys look down the face of this. That's a lot better. That was so far out of alignment before. Now it's just, that looks pretty gosh darn good to me. Anybody see something I'm missing? I don't know. That looks pretty gosh darn good. All right, let me get these battery terminals hooked up real quick. It wants its own ground too, so I'll have to go dig up some stuff for that. That's no big deal, really. And I need to get some wire ties and put everything back the way I had it. I had everything nice and neat. The only other wire they wanted ran was a independent ground wire from here. I just put it in the conduit and dropped it off right there. They wanted it grounded at the motor, so that's what we did. So now I just want to test it and make sure we got 12 volts. Again, you guys can see we're nice and straight now. I'm really happy with that. I will have bushings made for that. I'm going to drop you guys in the back here, and I just want to start it up, and then we'll check and make sure we have the make sure it's charging, make sure we're getting 14 volts. Let me get this here. You guys can see all the body work we're doing. I keep having to take the tail lights and bumper back off because I keep using the car. It's a little dark out here, but let me get this thing started up. You can see I got the emergency pull off right now, so we got to turn it on that way while we're doing the body work. All right, let me fire it up and we'll check it. Got 14.24 volts. Let me bring you guys over so you can see. Put the meter up here for you. Got it on voltage, direct current. Over here. .23, so the battery is now charging. Excellent. All right, let me shut this down. I don't want to get the neighbors all mad. All right, guys, well, that's what I got for you. We got the alternator and the gasser single wire. We're charging now. Happy about that. Like I said, I've not put a lot of video out right now because I've just been doing the body work on the car. I actually just had a guy call me up, Jimmy. He started watching our channel a couple years ago. We became friends. He's been offering me a lot of advice on body work and stuff. He runs a body shop. He actually volunteered to come up, not this weekend, next weekend, and help me get this thing in the hot rod black. Now look, I'm not looking for a 10-point job. We're just trying to get it so we don't have rust and we can play and we can come out here and start putting our you know, decorations, if you will, on the car. And then we got to jump back on this Nova too. So what I'm going to do for the next week is just try to get this thing as straight as I can, and then clean the shop out so that we have as much room as possible, and we're going to get this thing painted. So I'll be putting some updates up as we go. I'll show you guys the body work I'm doing. I pulled the high build primer out of the storage I had there, and we use that. We're going to spray that on the deck lid out back and block that and get that close. And this roof is never going to be perfect. I mean, unless I took my headliner down and tried to shrink some stuff and this and that. So I'm just going to get it as close as I can, and it's going to be good enough. All right, but I'm ecstatic. We're finally going to get this thing in this some hot rod black, and with Jimmy coming up and he knowing what he's doing, we're going to get somewhere. All right, so I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you got something out of it. I mean, like I say, it's just a one-wire alternator. There's really nothing to it, but if you ain't never did it, now maybe this will help you. You guys can see it took me a minute to get that thing lined up, but we got it. All right, so if you haven't yet, think about subscribing to us. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. It sure does help me. Till next time, take care, everybody.